Warnings about Sydney's real estate. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. We're going to have a look at this article from ABC News discussing Sydney real estate agents under fire for failing to warn buyers of serious defects in apartment towers. Now, are you surprised? Is anyone at all surprised that real estate agents don't give a crap about buyers and are just interested in selling and making money? Particularly the ones that sell this off-the-plan stuff in the showrooms. I mean, come on. Most of them wouldn't even have an understanding of what defects are to any great extent or why. Yeah, I mean, anyway, let's have a look at this, guys, before I start rambling again. We've looked at a lot of buildings with construction issues. There is a problem in Sydney that I assume is common knowledge, but it's probably because I've done so many videos on these type of things. I've had people talk to me about it. I'm not surprised. So, real estate agents selling apartments in 2 Sydney high-rise buildings found to have serious defects by government inspectors have been targeted in a fiery New South Wales parliamentary hearing. We'll have to see if the serious defects will actually end up being serious defects. Courtney Hozos, I thought it said Houso for us. Anyway, who is Labor's Shadow Minister for Better Regulation. Better Regulation. Is that an oxymoron? Used parliamentary privilege to take aim at agents selling units in the Atmosphere Towers in Castle Hill and Aya Eliza buildings in Auburn. Ms. Housos described the buildings as notorious and claimed she had discovered several real estate agents had not disclosed to prospective buyers that both developments were under prohibition orders. Well, you've got to buyer beware. Buyer beware. Don't trust any of these people that are selling you the slick things, guys. A prohibition order prevents an occupation certificate being issued until the developer rectifies listed defects. Well, then there you go. There's a means you can get out of the contract if you want to. It means owners are stranded and unable to move into their brand new apartment until the order is lifted. The apartment towers are basically were built by subsidiary companies of 2 large Sydney developers. Meris Group was behind Aya Eliza and 2 Place Construction Atmosphere Towers. Since December, 9 prohibition orders have been issued by New South Wales Fair Trading in an industry-wide crackdown. However, in 2 buildings, Atmosphere and Aya Eliza, owners had moved in before the orders were issued as the developer had secured an interim occupation certificate. Now, we've gotten these. We have gotten these IOCs on jobs we've done out at architectural practice for Lorna Jane down in New South Wales. And this is for a simple thing like, a fire sprinkler needs to be moved or some minor thing where you can still occupy the tenancy, because in retail, you need to occupy it, you need to get it in, you need the shop open. And then that risk can be managed. Okay, it's to allow the building to be occupied and still meet timeframes where things that are not, exceptionally critical can get addressed while continued occupation. The problem is, sometimes these things are used and people are occupying buildings for a decade without a proper occupation certificate in Sydney. So, Atmosphere's 20-storey and 21-storey towers were slapped with a prohibition order in June after government inspectors found non-compliant cladding. They also found the buildings were not properly waterproofed. I mean, here's the thing, everyone. You've got to realize every single building will have some defects, even if it's perfect, even if you try and sort everything out, even if it's fully documented. They're really complicated things. They're really complicated, they're unique to the site, and things happen. That's why you have a defects liability period for 1 year minimum, or whatever time frame you want to make it, that the builder has to come back and rectify it. And if not, you use the money you held aside from the builder to pay for someone to rectify it. If that money isn't enough, you can then take them to court. At Aya Eliza, inspectors noted waterproofing issues on the balcony, tiles that were not properly fixed to the walls in bathroom, and tiles floors were with inadequate falls to allow for proper drainage. In both orders, the Secretary of New South Wales Fair Trading said a serious defect in the building exists. The New South Wales Building Commissioner, David Chandler, said both Atmosphere and Aya Eliza had been deemed safe to live while rectification works took place. Yeah, okay, none of these things seem... They're not major issues. There are small things that can be addressed. You can have someone popping tiles off and fixing them properly, as is while you're still occupying the rest of the space. You can have someone, relaying the flooring in a bathroom to get the correct falls while you're still occupying the space. The issue with these problems are that over extended periods of time, you'll get water. Water's just the worst thing in any construction, everyone. Water, 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 because then you get mold. Then you get mold, you can get real issues. And that can be a life safety issue. So that's why David is clamping down on all this stuff. He wants to scare the bejesus out of the industry so they lift their game. I'm kind of worried that we've lost the skills. I think we've lost the skills. Better Regulation Minister Kevin Anderson said his department was doing what it could to inform real estate agents of their responsibilities, including through education, programs, campaigns, online and social media. However, the chief executive of the Real Estate Institute of New South Wales, Tim McKibben, disagreed. REINSW is the peak body for real estate agents and property professionals in New South Wales. For fair trading to say they've been out educating agents is wrong. Putting it on the website is not education, he said. Well, to them it probably is. To them it probably is. But yeah, he's right. I mean, what do you expect from government officials? So he said that if the real estate agent hadn't disclosed the order, his guess would be they weren't aware of it and their obligations to go and search for it. Under New South Wales law, he said agents know they are required to disclose building defects, but there's also no clarity around how or when. Do you disclose in the marketing material? We don't have guidance, he said. It's also unclear if information buried in strata documents is made available to the buyer, such as minutes of the last annual general meeting, held by the owner's corporation, formerly the body corporate, counts as disclosure by the agent. A spokesperson for Two Place said the work at Atmosphere required to lift the prohibition order were minor and will be completed in a matter of months. Merhurst Group was contacted for comments. So, I mean, what do you think, everyone? I mean, these are minor issues that they're talking about here. How's the real estate agent going to find this stuff? They'll probably find out about it in the news, often. I mean, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Now, what I want to draw your attention to is another video I did, and I'm just bringing this one up here. Inside the Zetland lofts, this is when Zetland, and I really haven't had an update of how they're going. Check those out. Another building in Sydney that's completely uninhabitable with water issues, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time, and watch out what you're buying. Bye for now.